I used to want to save the podcast, this beautiful, harmless phosphorescence. Hello, everyone. This is Throw Smiley, and I am unnecessary for the purposes of bodily pleasure. Who's joining me this week?
Hey, I'm Josh Cece, and where I come from, babies are made different.
I got some relationship advice for you guys. Find someone that looks at you like Wonder Woman looks at ice cream. I'm Brian Lesh.
I'm a snail. No, I'm a bug. No, I'm the dung of a bug. Oh, wait, no, I'm Alaric Weber.
And this is Harmless Phosphorescence. It's the podcast where we watch every theatrically released full-length live-action superhero movie ever made. We gather some research into the production and the source material, then we tell you all about it. This show, it's brought to you by patrons. Patrons like executive producers Michael Beckwith and Atticus Burkett. You want to be a patron too? Just go to patreon.com/harmlessentertainment. We got bonus content there. We got Star Wars shows. We got monthly movies. Every month we do a non-superhero movie. We doing Clue this month. That'll be coming up soon. Live from Belgium, we'll be doing Clue.
Yeah. How cool.
That's coming up soon, but we've got all sorts of stuff there on the Patreon. We got music shows we do every week. Head over there, patreon.com/harmlessentertainment. This week, though, on Harmless Phosphorescence, we are going to be watching Wonder Woman.
I used to want to save the world. This beautiful place. But the closer you get, the more you see the great darkness within. I learned this the hard way a long, long time ago.
What is your mission?
To stop the war.
What war?
The war to end all wars. Weapons far deadlier than you can ever imagine.
The war can be ours.
Wherever you are in more danger than you think.
I cannot stand by while innocent lives are lost. Be careful, Diana.
Who is this woman?
She's my secretary, sir. She's a very good secretary.
It is our sacred duty to defend the world, and it's what I'm going to do. How can a woman possibly fight in this?
Fight? We use our principles, although I am not opposed to engaging in a bit of fisticuffs should the occasion arise.
Wonder Woman. It was released on June 2nd, 2017, with a running time of 141 minutes. It cost $150 million, and it took in $822 million at the box office. She was a hit, this Woman of Wonder. This is part of the DCEU at a time when the DCEU was actually trying to make interconnected movies. They did officially say that they were not going to make all of their movies interconnected in 2019. Sometimes they connect, sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's up in the air whether this is part of the same universe or not. But at the time Wonder Woman came out, it was part of that whole shebang.
You'll know it's interconnected when they use that Wonder Woman theme.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a cool theme.
Yeah, the theme's pretty awesome. That's a Hans Zimmer joint there. He didn't do the soundtrack for this movie, but that theme was his, which he made for
that electric guitar
for BVS. BVS, which is my favorite Korean pop group.
I thought it was a venereal.
But this movie made a lot of money, which means it's time for us to play the box office top 10 game.
What?
This is the game where I'm going to describe movies using mostly the Box Office Mojo description, except where I don't. And the guys here are going to try to guess what movie I'm describing. You ready to jump into the top 10 movies of June 2nd, 2017, fellers?
No.
Aw, come on.
Okay.
Yay! Our first... Thanks for doing the bit with me, Al. Our first one... robbed of his birthright. Our hero comes up the hard way in the back alleys of the city. But once he pulls a weapon, a mythical weapon, out of a place, he's forced to acknowledge his true legacy, whether he likes it or not. I was trying to leave.
Is this Prince of Persia?
No.
It's an Arthur type thing, right? Arthurian.
It is. It is.
The pointy stick in the rock?
No,
It stars
Arthur Jew on the rock.
the tagline for this is from
It's the Kingsman?
No. This stars Charlie Hunnam, I don't know, and Jude Law. The tagline is "From nothing comes a king."
Yeah, Excalibur.
It's called King Arthur: Legend of the Sword. And at the bottom of the poster it just says hashtag King Arthur.
You saw clap back.
I did not even know this movie exists.
Yeah, that's rough when you have to use the movie's title as a hashtag on the movie's poster.
Yeah. Oh man. Number 9 this week. When her boyfriend dumps her before their exotic vacation, a young woman persuades her ultra-cautious mother to travel with her to paradise with unexpected results.
Mother in Paradise?
This stars Amy Schumer and Goldie Hawn.
Yeah, I remember hearing about it.
I do not remember hearing about this.
On the streets.
What's the hashtag?
Arthur.
Hashtag King Arthur. They used the same hashtag. It was very confusing.
Just to divert. I don't know. Mom. Oh, Mom. Mom's at it again.
It's called Snatched.
Because they were kidnapped.
Yes, they get kidnapped. Not because they're two ladies.
Thank you.
Because they're snatching looks. Also.
Yeah.
Snitching and snatching.
Number 8. A family road trip to attend Mima's 90th birthday party goes hilariously off course thanks to a kid's scheme to get to a video gaming convention.
Are we
The
there
Wizard.
yet, too?
No.
Mima.
Starring Ice Cube? No?
Mima's Revenge.
This is the third movie in a series. And
Are we there yet? 3.
and it's a reboot. They rebooted the series on the third one with new actors. I guess it's a soft reboot because it's a different story, but it's also new actors.
Mima's
Mima.
Revenge.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid: The Long Haul.
Oh.
I remember Jude. Jude's read all the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. He, grew up reading them. And he was just the right age when the movies came out.
Because he's a wimpy kid.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Sorry, Jude.
It's okay. He doesn't.
Like he listens to this.
Yeah, he does not. Well, he might from
I
the
think
next
you're
room.
tough.
Yeah. When this came out and they had new kids, he was like, "That is not my Roderick." He was very upset.
Get used to it. Reboots are coming.
Yeah.
Get used to it, kid.
Yeah.
You know what life is like out there? Reboots.
It's nothing but reboots.
You know how many Power
people-
Rangers I've seen?
Oh, God. Come and go through the years.
Some people don't even have boots.
Like sands through the hourglass, so are the Power Rangers of our lives.
Kendall. No, that was all my shit.
Tammy and Billy and the Pink Ranger and the Yellow Ranger.
And the other one. All right.
Richard Nixon back again.
All right. Number 7. A teenager who spent her whole life confined to her home falls for the boy next door.
Tangled.
Jesus.
I was gonna say Tangled, but
Like she falls for the first person she sees.
This movie,
Confined.
yeah, literally the first person that she walks outside and sees.
Oh, a mailman.
This movie looks super YA. It stars 2 people I've never heard of, Amanda Stenberg and Nick Robinson. It does not have a visible hash. No, it does. Hashtag is the name of the movie. I'm not going to say what the hashtag is.
Oh, okay. I was like, are you kidding? It's hashtag?
No.
Amanda
Yeah,
Stenberg was Rue in the Hunger Games. I know that because
Oh,
I
her.
somehow watched all 4 of them last week.
Oh my
is it
God.
Like the Truth in Our Stars.
Wait.
or the Boy in the Bubble.
It looks like one of those kind of movies, but it's called Everything, Everything.
Wait, you're kidding, right?
No, it's called
Everything?
Everything, Everything.
Are you shitting me?
Hashtag Everything, Everything.
Wow. You think they could have just done hashtag everything, but
Nope.
everything,
To
everything.
So wait, Brian, you watched all the Hunger Game movies, and we're not even doing a podcast about it?
I might have a problem. Yeah, I got
I've
to
seen
the
them all.
first one, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to watch all of them. And by the time it was over, I was questioning my decision.
Those might be on our list someday once we get to series.
I am here for it. I'm ready for it, man. They are interesting.
They
Was-
are. I
is there a
found
sequel to
Yeah.
it? Sorry.
to Everything, Everything.
Was it Everything Squared?
It was some other.
Nothing and nothing.
Yeah, some other things also.
Things we didn't cover in the first one.
What was it? I love that tweet. The only 2 books you need to read. Everything They Don't Teach You in Harvard Business School and What They Teach You in Harvard Business School.
People who bought this were also interested in this.
Coming in at number 6, we've got the crew of a ship bound for a remote planet discover an uncharted paradise with a threat beyond their imagination.
Covenant.
Yes!
Alien Covenant.
Boom! I knew our alien guy was going to
I
get
almost
it.
said Prometheus, but yeah.
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 Alien Covenant. Yeah.
Still waiting on a sequel.
Oh,
I
wait.
don't know why, but I am.
Wait, I feel like
Hulu's
Oh.
doing a television series.
oh, that's right. That's right.
I think they may have jettisoned the 3rd Ridley Scott piece of this puzzle, and it will remain confusing forever. Not that a 3rd movie would have clarified anything.
No, it would not have. But oh no, it's a Predator. There's a new Predator coming. Or is there a Predator? There's something Predator. I don't know if it's a series or a movie. Something Predator's coming. Andrea called
Bears.
dibs on guesting on the Hunger Games cast, and
Yeah,
Andrea,
she's silly for it.
you're absolutely as always. You're more than welcome to guess anytime. As is our other guest friends, Jeremy and Chico and Jerry. All y'all are welcome at any time for any movie.
Zarina really wanted to guest on Wonder Woman, but she had an event that she had to do today.
Yeah. Well, and Zarina also welcome anytime. Any of our guesties, our guesty
That's
besties.
right. Paul Lynn. Everyone.
Yeah, Paul Lynn, please. Carol
I hope that
Channing.
Andrea read the books because I have so many questions about the Hunger Games.
I read the books too.
She did, yeah.
I read the
Oh,
books.
Thoreau, I may be texting you my questions.
No, it was like
I'll save it for the podcast.
it was a solid 12 years ago, and I only read them once, so I cannot guarantee I remember much. But anyways, number 5 on the box office top 10. Devoted lifeguard Mitch butts heads with a brash new recruit as they uncover a criminal plot that threatens the future of their beach.
Baywatch?
Yes!
Yeah,
the
the movie version of Baywatch?
Dwayne Johnson, Zac Efron, yeah. Oh, and
The first one,
Alexandra
that's
Daddario. Who else is in that? Some blonde lady.
David Hasselhoff, obviously, right?
I think he
Austin
does
Pfeffer.
a guest star. I don't know. I never saw this one.
Me
Yeah, I
neither.
didn't either.
Let's see. At number 4 this week, a team has to stay together while dealing with their personal family issues.
Power Rangers.
No,
No.
but you're in the right ballpark.
A team has to stay together
Finn.
while
Well,
dealing with
Their personal
Family.
family issues.
family issues.
Yes.
The Godfather.
Starring Vin Diesel, Dave Bautista,
God.
Bradley Cooper, Kurt Russell, Zoe Saldana, and Chris Pratt.
Guardians of
Or-
the Galaxy
See,
Volume 2.
Yes, our
You said Vin Diesel, and I immediately thought Fast and the
Furious.
Furious.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you said
Furious.
family. You should have guessed that.
And that one he's all, I am furious. I am furious.
Number 3 this week.
I am fast.
I am fast. The button with the button.
Number 3 this week. Pursued by an old rival, a man and his crew have to get away and accomplish their goals. I don't have a better way to describe this without just telling you what it is.
Fast and the Furious?
Wait, say it again, Thoreau.
Oh, God.
Or try.
Yeah.
A man and his crew.
A man and his crew have to get away from the man's old rival.
Oh.
Master and Commander.
You're actually not in the wrong ballpark, kinda.
Oh, okay.
This stars Jeffrey Rush, Javier Bardem, and Johnny Depp.
Oh.
Oh, Pirates. Pirates of the Caribbean.
What's the subtitle?
What's the subtitle? Oh, no.
Curse of the Flippy Floppies.
when Harry met Lloyd.
It's Dead Men Tell No Tales. I have no idea what number this is. How many of those did they even make?
I don't know.
That's the
Like,
series.
Tell
That's,
no tales. Sit down for this tale.
yeah, that one is the Pirates is definitely on our list for our post superhero miniseries. Yeah.
They're really milking that 15-minute ride.
Yeah, they.
I'm impressed how they did.
At number 2 this week, two overly imaginative pranksters named George and Harold hypnotize their principal into thinking he's a superhero. This did not make our list for our superhero movies. It
Why,
is.
though?
It
I'm
is
curious
because
as
it
to
is
why.
animated.
Oh. I was going to say, I thought it was a Village of the Damned reboot or something.
It is animated. It stars Kevin Hart, Ed Helms, Nick Kroll, and Thomas Middleditch.
Is this Superdog or something?
No, it's also based on a series of books, which is pretty similar to Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Actually, it's a big week for this like pre-tween kind of literature. It's
Yeah.
Captain Underpants, the first epic movie.
So is the principal Captain Underpants?
I guess.
I'm
I don't know.
confused.
Jude was into Captain Underpants, but I don't. I think I saw this, but I don't remember it very well. I think the principal is Captain Underpants. Yeah.
I saw an entirely different kind of movie called
Captain Underpants. Yeah. I would.
It all just seems like a riff on Calvin and Hobbes' Stupendous Man.
It kind of is.
Yeah, I love Calvin.
Yeah. I would point out that this is the first epic movie. They did not make a sequel. So,
No, truthful.
and number 1 this week. When a pilot crashes and tells of a conflict in the outside world, Diana, an Amazonian warrior in training, leaves home to fight a war, discovering her full powers and true destiny.
Medea's
Wonder
Fantasy
Woman.
Island.
Oh my God, Tyler Perry! I know you're a fan, so make that movie, please.
Oh my God, Medea as a Wonder Woman.
No, Fantasy Island. Like
The plane.
the premise is Fantasy Island.
Just Tyler Perry playing every single character. I would pay money for that.
Oh my
Now
God.
is Medea going to the island, or she's a Ricardo Montalban?
Yeah, I was gonna say she's got to be Ricardo Montalban.
So that is the end of our box office top 10, which means it is time for Professor Al to break out the big book of superhero stuff and tell us everything we need to know about the comic book and character background of Diana, Princess of Wales. I mean, different Princess Di. I may have watched.
Island.
Wait, I watched the wrong movie.
Different island.
Okay. So I'm gonna start off because I'm gonna reread what I wrote for Dawn of Justice
Okay.
because it's relevant. I talked a little bit about her, but didn't go into full depth. Okay, Wonder Woman. Created by American psychologist and writer William Moulton Marston and artist Harry G. Peter. Marston's wife, Elizabeth, and their life partner, Olive Byrne, are credited as being inspiration of the character's appearance, mostly due to their bondage lifestyle.
Yes. Wonder Woman is a bondage fantasy brought to life.
To ink.
Yes.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Um,
It's amazing that like one of the top 10 most popular superheroes of all time, most popular like characters of all time, I'd say maybe is
Empowering.
is a bondage fantasy.
Superman was born out of that dress like a baby fantasy because he wears his underwear on the outside the whole time. It's like a diaper.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman first appeared in All-Star Comic number 8, published October 21st, 1941, and she had her first full feature in Sensation Comics number 1, January of 1942.
Sensation Comics.
Sensation Comics.
Tingly. We mentioned or way back when you brought him up that Marston also invented the polygraph machine.
Yeah, I remember talking about that briefly.
The lasso.
Which
of truth.
I'm sure he stumbled. Yeah, I stumbled upon it with his bondage and discipline play. No, really, the heart rate goes up when this happens.
Oh, that's really interesting, actually.
Did you come? No. Haha, this machine says differently.
It's my orgasm detector.
Oh, in a pursuit of truth.
Orgasmeter.
Yeah, exactly. He's all, come on, baby, it's for science.
He was a psychologist. Yeah.
Had to rename it to sell it to the
They're on
government.
track.
Yep. Yeah, it wasn't the boner machine anymore.
Hoover was never going to buy into the orgasmeter.
Never.
Wonder Woman. The character soon got her own comic book with Wonder Woman number 1 released in summer of 1942. It was the summer edition. Let's see. In her homeland, her official title is Princess Diana of Themyscira. A note on Themyscira. The location was originally known as Paradise Island and was not named Themyscira until 1987. There was a Wonder Woman reboot in 1987.
Wow.
Yeah, Paradise Island, and they mentioned it. Steve Trevor says it and calls it Paradise Island at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did they lean more into like mythology in the reboot?
I think so.
Yeah. 'Cause did it always have that mythological origin back in the 40s and beyond?
It did. Yeah, they were. She was always an Amazon. It was always an island of Amazons. At one point, it was known as Amazon, or there were a few islands, the Amazon Isles. It was called, but Paradise Island was the first thing it was called.
It was the first distribution center that they set up on the Amazon Island.
Let's see.
Thanks, Brent.
Her magical arsenal includes the lasso of truth and her indestructible bracelets, with which she can stop bullets. Along with Superman and Batman, Wonder Woman is a founding member of the Justice League. Let's see what new stuff I wrote. Diana is a masterful acrobat. I was kind of improvising some of that too. Diana is a masterful athlete, acrobat, fighter, and strategist, experienced in many ancient and modern forms of armed and unarmed combat. Her godlike abilities include superhuman strength, near invulnerability, speed, flight, fast healing, and semi-immortality. Question mark.
She's a demigod, not a capital G god, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Like a Hercules.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Like a god could
Or
kill her.
Samson.
Is kind of how I read that.
I'm surprised to hear that it's flying, because she seemed to like have more of a leaping type ability. It's just interesting that it's flight and she has an invisible jet. She's like, I'm tired.
Well, I think the invisible jet could fly at like 3,000 miles an hour, and I don't think she could do that on her own.
Fair enough.
She doesn't have the
That's a
flying
reasonable
ability
answer.
of Superman, so she has to augment it with technology.
She
seemed to have Hulk like super high in the air.
Sometimes it looks like she's jumping or leaping. Sometimes she kind of hovers. I don't know.
I
No,
love the
that's
way that they
acceptable.
handle
I
this
got you.
in the sequel, which we'll get into in '84. But
Yeah.
the way they make her able to fly, I thought was like chef's kiss, perfect way
It
to
was
address
really
it.
True. That's
Yeah.
true.
That was good.
Batman once called her the best melee fighter in the world. Golden Age Wonder Woman
Was
had,
that a dig at Superman?
Probably. Golden Age Wonder Woman also had education in advanced arts and sciences. When Diana first came to America, she met a bereft nurse who looked identical to her.
Where's this? going?
This woman wanted to join her fiancé in South America, but did not have the money. Diana gave her the money in exchange for her identity, that of Diana Prince. It just so happened they looked exactly alike and they had the same first name.
And her last name was Prince. God.
And her last name was Prince.
Fuck you,
Just get an ID badge.
fuck
It's like,
you,
but
comic
you
books.
have to go by Wonder Woman for the rest of your life.
Rats.
So she took her identity and her credentials, and she took her first job in Man's World as an army nurse.
I wish this
So
was
did
just.
she?
I wish this
Go.
was just like a Parent Trap kind of like comedy.
Well, I want to know: did Diana pay an Amazon gift card?
Oh my god.
God
This
damn
isn't
it.
real money. Like, hang on to this. It'll be worth something in the future.
I'm an Amazonian. Don't worry.
I just like playing out this scenario. When Brainiac shows up to get Wonder Woman, does he get this poor, powerless woman and her husband?
In South America?
In South America.
Aha! I caught you unaware.
Because he looked in the phone book.
He's got the Terminator plan.
He's like, there are 7 Wonder Women in Brazil.
Let's get busy.
Okay. Steve Trevor. First appeared in All-Star Comics number 8. Same first appearance as Wonder Woman. Originally introduced as an intelligence operative and officer in the U.S. Army Air Corps. Trevor's plane crashed on Paradise Island, where he informed the Amazons that World War II was occurring in man's world.
It's a man's world, baby.
World War II.
Steve Trevor is the first foreigner to set foot on the island, and the first man Diana has ever seen.
And he instantly claimed it for Her Majesty Isabella of Spain.
He brought a flag.
But do you have a flag?
Diana nursed him back to health, fell in love with him, and after winning a competition to determine who will be charged with delivering Steve back to the man's world and fighting for justice, Diana does just that.
Diana's like, it's a real taco party around here. I'm glad you showed up.
She won a competition.
Like an episode of The Bachelor.
Kind of. Yeah.
She won a competition. She's like, you sunk my battleship.
Wakanda.
Oh no.
She was actually forbidden by her mother to participate in the competition, but she wore a mask.
One of those domino masks, like
and
in
beat
Gotham
everybody to prove that she was the most worthy to fight for justice.
She lives on an island, a small island of all women, where they're like, who is this masked woman who I've never seen before?
Everybody else is here.
Yeah, bring me
Who's this one?
Diana. Wait a minute.
It's interesting that Wonder Woman was boy crazy in her origins. Like, I'm going to win this race to hang out with this man.
She's all tiger beat.
Luckily, it was one of the Chris's, one of the cuter Chris's.
The
Yeah.
Chris's, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a Pratt.
Or, yeah, thank goodness. But it wasn't a Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Or Evans.
He's right in the middle.
Middle Chris.
Middle Chris.
I just want a sitcom with all the Chris's having to live together.
I would watch that.
And raise a kid.
Yeah.
A little lady of some sort.
The character of Steve Trevor was often placed in gentleman in jeopardy situations, mirroring the damsel in distress trope.
Yeah.
Steve Trevor was killed off in 1969 with artist Mike Sikowski finding him dull and boring.
Oh, Mike, you're so judgy.
I know.
Man, there's
Sorry,
a lot
yeah,
of there's a lot of other white guys in comic books he could have done that to.
Right.
Why stop there?
Steve.
But the character would be resurrected by a later creative team.
They just couldn't make up a new regular guy.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it
Put
was
him in
in
all Lazarus
1987. Maybe that was in 1987 when they brought him back, when they did the reboot. Let's see. After DC's 2011 reboot, Trevor would be the U.S. liaison, the United States liaison to the Justice League.
Steve is so hot right now.
Steve would also be one of only 3 men to be granted honorary citizenship to Themyscira, the other 2 being Superman and Batman.
Okay, I was gonna say, it's got to be those 2.
Yeah.
This is, yeah.
They can keep a secret, I guess.
And the UPS
I
guy.
suppose they can.
Yeah, they're like the Flash. No way, man.
Nope.
You can visit, but you can never stay.
Moving on.
Closing. All right, moving on.
The Hotel Delaware. I don't know.
The Hall of Justice.
The Hotel Manitoba.
Yeah. Hall of Justice is definitely incorporated in Delaware.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
They don't pay taxes.
Everything's
No
incorporated in
sales
Delaware.
tax.
Moving on to Etta Candy.
Please.
She was the Steve's secretary in this movie. She first appeared in Sensation Comics #2, Wonder Woman's 3rd appearance. Etta would be a constant feature of Golden Age Wonder Woman adventures, functioning as the hero's plucky sidekick and best friend. Unapologetically proud of her plus-sized figure and vocal about her love of sweets. Actually, in her first appearance, she was like an amazing. Like I said, Diana was a nurse and found this woman in the hospital, emaciated. And then the next time we see her, she's like plus sized. And she chalked it up that she was revived by Candy.
Yeah, they gave her
Diana
4
nursed
cc's of ho-hos.
With chocolates.
I love that the bondage comic also is like, and also thick girls.
Yeah, I like that. I love that. Yeah, very forward thinking. They're like, Doctor, she's only had half of her witness.
Yeah.
So,
He's like, you know what? I am ready for this jelly.
Yeah, the cream ones are terrible.
unapologetically proud of her plus-sized figure and vocal about her love of sweets, Edda's appearance was a stark contrast to the svelte, wasp-waisted women depicted in most comic books.
Right on.
Yeah, I am loving these guys, actually.
It's surprising that it worked.
Yeah, it's surprising people let them do this.
Well, and I don't think anybody knew. I doubt anybody buying the comics really was into the backstory.
Yeah.
Look up Edda Candy on Wikipedia. There are a couple of there's a new version of her is the primary picture, but look down below to one of her Golden Age things. She's like it might have been a Wonder Woman. I don't know. She's like spanking Wonder Woman into a cage so she can get her sweets, so she can get her candy. She's like, I need my sweets. Unapologetic.
To get her sweets.
Oh my god!
I don't do it. Are you looking it up?
I gotta lock you up, baby, and get myself some chocolate creams.
Oh,
and
wow.
It's just Wonder Woman saying, "Eek, have mercy."
As she's spanking her, she's paddling her.
She is wearing white
mercy.
cowboy boots and a red dress.
Wow.
Wonder Woman looks like olive oil.
There's the thinnest veneer covering up that.
I love it.
Wow.
She fucking loves sweets.
Yeah.
She loves sweets and they love bondage. She's just getting paddled. This is just like a lesbian paddling that's happening.
The promise of sweets. I kind of like that a lot.
That kind of covers all the bases for me personally. Candy, lesbians, paddling.
All right, we gotta. Woo!
Yeah, let's get rolling.
All right. The character was updated twice in 1987 with the Wonder Woman reboot. She wasn't so much Wonder Woman's best friend, but she was like an intelligence agent in the Air Force. In 2011, updated again. The whole DC reboot. She came back as a black woman in 2011.
Good.
Edda Candy was portrayed by Beatrice Cullen in the 1970s Wonder Woman series. So they did maintain her character for that.
Beatrice Cullen. Yeah. Huh.
Dr. Poison.
Do you think she's a bad guy?
It's Brett
Maybe.
Michaels.
It's Dr. Poison.
That girl is Dr. Poison.
She's on the 3rd floor. All right.
Her father was a cobbler.
First appeared in Sensation Comics number 2, February of 1942. Again, this was Wonder Woman's 3rd appearance. Dr. Poison was first depicted as Princess Maru, the chief of the Poison Division for a Nazi spy group who planned to contaminate the United States Army's water with a chemical called Reverso, a drug that compels whoever takes it to do the exact opposite of what they are told.
It makes it opposite day.
Just tell them what you don't want them to do.
What is the opposite? Some things don't have opposites. Like what's the opposite
Go
of
to the bathroom?
drive this car? What's the opposite of that?
Not driving the car?
I guess.
I'll walk, thank you.
Okay. Like,
Let me take the bus.
like jump. What's the opposite of jump? Don't jump, I guess.
Don't jump.
I guess.
Yeah.
Roll over.
Don't
Oh.
close your eyes.
That was about as far as I got with this character, because that was enough.
Yep,
It was
that's
so good.
How about no? But what would they do if someone what would they do if what they wanted to do was the opposite of what they were doing?
I don't know.
Yeah. What if they wanted to do the opposite of what they were told? They would just do what they want.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the army. They have to do what they're told.
Dun, dun, dun.
This. I think we've discovered how to make a perpetual motion machine. So, all right. Wait, did you say that was it, Al?
I think that, yeah, that's all I had on her. I forgot to delve a little deeper into her.
That's okay.
But she's a she's a
Fine.
scientific genius in the fields of chemistry and biology. She's a genius in engineering of pathogens, poisons, toxins, plagues, and chemical-based weapons. I think she's been around. I mean, yeah, she's been around for a while, but she was a mainstay of a major recurring enemy of Wonder Woman.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Al.
Oh no! Wait.
Oh
sorry.
man. Okay, we got someone else.
Yeah, we got Ares. First appeared in Greece, something BC.
He did.
The recycler door.
He did. Yes.
First appeared in DC Comics in Wonder Woman #1 in 1942. That was the summer issue, Wonder Woman's first title book. They switched his name to Mars in the second issue. He was Ares in the first one, and then they switched him to Mars in the second issue. Then they finally switched back to Ares in the 1987 Wonder Woman reboot.
Yeah. Did they get sued
By Greece.
Ares?
By Mars bars?
by Greece?
They got sued by Zeus.
His powers include too many things. He's an Olympian god.
Yeah.
As the god of war, Ares draws and nourishes his powers from malevolent psychic energy. And he was voiced by Alfred Molina in the 2009 animated Wonder Woman movie.
Nice.
Boom.
All right. So we've got a bit of production background on this bad boy. This is the first Wonder Woman movie. So let's look back at the history of Wonder Woman in visual media. The very first Wonder Woman movie was in March 1974, made for TV, starring Not Who You Think. Kathy Lee Crosby was our first on-screen Wonder Woman. Kathy Lee Crosby was a tennis player who became an actress. Her dad was Lewis Clayton Crosby, who was a songwriter. He worked on the Lawrence Welk Show. She is not related to Bing Crosby. That's the first thing her Wikipedia page says.
That was my first thought too.
So they did not bring her back. It was supposed to be a pilot for a series. They didn't like her, so instead they made another made-for-TV movie called The New Original Wonder Woman, which starred Linda Carter. That did go to series. That aired for 3 seasons from 1976 to 1979. And that was kind of the end of Wonder Woman on the big screen. or
Wait, you
on
said it
any
was made for
screen.
TV.
Yeah, on any screen. I'm sorry, on screen Wonder Woman outside of cartoons. Of course, Wonder Woman was in Super Friends in the '80s, which is probably where Super Friends is where I was introduced to pretty much all the DC heroes.
Mostly, yeah. Who voiced her in that? Do you know?
I don't.
No big.
Yeah. It was probably some voice actress we are unfamiliar with, if I had to
Probably.
guess.
You keep going. I'll look it up.
Yeah. Then the film. They didn't try to make a Wonder Woman movie until 1996. Why? Because, I mean, they were constantly trying to make every other fucking, like, superhero into a movie, but they didn't try to make Wonder Woman, mostly because they assumed people weren't interested in lady superheroes. In 1996, though, they thought they had an in by making a funny superhero movie written and directed by Ivan Reitman. Ghostbusters guy. Because only...
Yeah, of course. But,
because you're not going to make a superhero movie with a lady unless it's maybe funny.
yeah. It has to be a joke.
Yeah. So anyways, that stalled in 1999. It moved on. John Cohen wrote a script and Joel Silver was trying to get it made. That was supposed to star Sandra Bullock. That did not get made, of course. Catherine Zeta-Jones then became attached to it. It almost got made in 2001 with Catherine Zeta-Jones. Then it went back into turnaround. The new script got written with Tony Alcott. Lucy Lawless and Mariah Carey were both attached to it at that point. Mariah Carey would have been disastrous. Lucy Lawless would have been interesting. Then in 2005, Warner Brothers brought on Joss Whedon to write and direct. Joss Whedon wrote several early drafts with Stephen Trevor as the narrator. The studio was never happy with any of his drafts, and eventually he left. Although before he left, he was in talks with both Kate Beckinsale, Angelina Jolie, and Kobe Smulders for the lead role.
Curious.
Yeah. After he left, there's actually a live reading of his script with Kobe Smulders reading the Wonder Woman part. It's interesting. It's interesting to watch. I don't love his script. I don't love his take on it. It's very Whedon-y. But it's, there's some stuff in there I like and a lot of stuff I don't. When he doesn't hit things out of the ballpark, like Avengers and some of the Buffy stuff, it's can be a little painful. But then in 2000, when they began developing a Justice League movie in 2008, they brought on an Australian model, Megan Gale, for the role. That movie then got shelved. In 2010, they started trying to make a new one. And that was Paul Feig. Paul Feig. Feig? Yeah, they wanted to make another one, another action comedy movie.
Funny.
It was supposed to be directed by Michelle McLaren. But she left. It got put on the back burner again while Man of Steel and Batman v Superman got made. And then, of course, when they put her in Batman v Superman, they brought in Gal Gadot. We did talk about her in the Batman v Superman, so we won't be going into her background. But Patty Jenkins was brought in to direct. When Patty Jenkins was brought in, she decided to set it in World War I, and then at that point, she put Steve Trevor in. Scott Eastwood, we talked about this a little bit in the Suicide Squad episode. Scott Eastwood was supposed to play Steve Trevor in that, but when they decided to place this in World War I, they had to recast Steve Trevor as Chris Pine and rename Scott Eastwood's character in Suicide Squad and cut out a bunch of his scenes.
Wait, who's Scott Eastwood in?
He is some random... Well,
he's the guy who blows himself up in Suicide Squad.
He was supposed to be Steve Trevor, but when they set Wonder Woman in World War I, they cut all of his scenes, and now he's just some random army dude in the background in a bunch of the shots. So Patty Jenkins, she worked as a lot of throughout the 90s and 2000s. She mostly worked in a lot of like background role stuff, like assistant AD kind of stuff. She did a lot of camera work. She was a camera person. She only has directed 3 movies. Monster in 2003, which was that Charlize Theron movie, which is a very good movie. Like, it's amazing that she didn't get another movie between 2003 and 2017. I have to chalk that up 100% to the fact that Hollywood is sexist as fuck.
Yes. Yep.
Because Monster's an incredible movie.
Yeah, it got Charlize an Oscar.
Yeah. There's no reason
it got all those male directors scared.
Yeah. I guess it probably did. But she did do some TV work in between. She directed episodes of Arrested Development, Entourage, The Killing, Betrayal, all of that in between, and continuing to work behind the scenes on other things. She was in an episode of the Sarah Silverman program in 2008. Which is just weird, but she got brought onto this. I can't really find how she got this job, honestly. They seem to just kind of like she was friends with somebody who like recommended her.
Patty Jenkins is doing the new Rogue Squadron, right?
That's currently maybe because they put it on pause. So she's supposed to, but it's still unclear as to whether or not that's really going to get made at all.
I really hope so, because that announcement that they did was pretty savvy.
Yeah.
I think she was was she on roller skates? Wearing a flight suit? I forget. She was on a tarmac and there was an X-Wing.
Well, yeah.
It was really cool.
Well, and her dad was a pilot. So she was apparently very excited about doing this. My
dad is a big fan of Patty Jenkins. I thought it was interesting talking to him about it when that announcement was made. I was like, oh, well, check you out, man. He follows her work closely.
That's all with Patty Jenkins. This was written. We've got a screenplay credit for Alan Heinberg. Alan Heinberg. Oh God, let's see. He did a ton of TV work. His Party of Five, Sex and the City, Gilmore Girls. He wrote on the Hawkeye series. He's has writing credits on the upcoming Sandman series. As far as movies go, he didn't write any other screenplay. He has no other screenplay film credits other than Wonder Woman. Additionally, we've got story by credits. Zack Snyder gets a story by credit. It's unclear how much he actually had to do with the story of this. And then Jason Fuchs also has a story by credit. Let's see. He's also has writing credits on Ice Age Continental Drift, Pan, the 2015 Peter Pan movie, and the 2018 movie called I Still See You. He has more acting credits than he does writing credits. He was in La La Land, It Chapter 2, The Hebrew Hammer, a 2000.
Oh, I remember that.
A 2003 movie with Adam Goldberg. Yeah.
Shabbat Shalom, motherfucker. Is the one thing that I remember from that movie more than anything.
Our cast.
As promised, the voice of Wonder Woman in Super Friends was Shannon Farnan. Not a big name.
Yeah.
She's got 57 credits to her name, but nothing starring, I guess. She did a lot of TV work back around like the Man of Uncle, Dragnet era. Yeah.
Well, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. So in our cast, Gal Gadot as Diana. We did talk about her in our BVS episode. Chris Pine as Steve Trevor. Chris Pine, probably other than this, best known as the Captain Kirk in the Star Trek reboot movies.
That's where I first saw him.
Yeah. Was Jack Ryan in the 2014 Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit. Or he may be, a certain segment of our population may know him best as Lord Devereaux in the Princess Diaries 2 Royal Engagement.
That's where I saw him.
He was in that terrible 2018 Wrinkle in Time movie, which I wanted so badly to like, but I could not.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I wanted to like that movie. But let's see. God, he worked. He's been in so many movies. Throughout the 2000s, he was like, Blind Dating, Smoking Aces, Just My Luck, The Bulls, Confession, like so many things. He was one of the Peter Parkers in the Into the Spider-Verse. Which one was he?
Was he the Dream?
He was the post-credit sequence. The post-credit sequence. Yeah. The Pinnacle Spidey. Or the post-credit sequence one.
Well, because 2055 was Oscar Isaac, right?
Oh, was that Oscar Isaac?
Yeah. So was he the Peter Parker that died in that universe?
Oh, that might have been it. It just credits him as Peter Parker / Spider-Man, so I don't know which one.
I thought he was the Peter Parker that died.
Okay. That would make sense.
I could be wrong.
No, that would make sense because I literally don't know.
In the sense that he's the Dreamboat character instead of kind of a dorky Peter Parker.
Yeah, exactly. So he's coming up in next year. He's starring in the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Ooh.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. He did a lot of TV in the early 2000s too. He was in an episode of 6 Feet Under. Huh. American Dream, CSI, ER. So, additionally, we got Robin Wright. No longer Robin Wright Penn as, how do you say it? Antiope? Antiope?
Antiope was
Antiope?
how they said it in the movie.
Okay.
Antiope.
Yeah. Robin Wright. She's always the Princess Bride to me. Forever. Princess Bride and Jenny.
Oh, yeah.
Jenny.
By the way, comics background. All those Amazon names, they all appeared in the comics at one point or another, especially Hippolyta and Antiope.
So thank you. All right, yeah, Robin Wright. Additionally, as you know, Princess Bride, Jenny from Forrest Gump. She was in Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Blade Runner 2049. Claire Underwood in too many seasons of House of Cards. She became the lead after all that went down with Kevin Spacey. Danny Houston as Eric Ludendorff. He's got a long filmography. His first film credit was in Leaving Las Vegas. Let's see, he was in 21 Grams, The Aviator, The Constant Gardener, Children of Men. He was William Stryker in X-Men Origins Wolverine. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we talked about him.
I forgot about that. He plays Poseidon in Clash of the Titans, the 2010 reboot of that.
He's an interesting guy.
Yeah.
He's the brother of
choices.
Clive Owen's character in Children of Men. He's the guy who runs the art thing and has all the Pink Floyd inflatables and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
A note on the a note on the character. Eric Ludendorff was, I think, one of the only historical figures presented in this film.
Mm. Oh, Ludendorff is a real person?
Yeah. I tried to look up his comics history, but he was a German general, politician and military theorist, blah, blah, blah. Achieved fame during World War I, central role in German victories in 1914.
Wow.
After Germany's defeat, he contributed significantly to the Nazis' rise to power. So he did not die in real World War I.
Mm.
He was not killed by an Amazon princess.
Shame.
That is a shame.
That is a shame.
Okay, so David Thewlis as Sir Patrick / Ares. David Thewlis, probably best known as from Harry Potter. Lupin, Professor Lupin.
Yep.
But he's worked for many, many years. He was, since the 80s. He was in, the 1994 Black Beauty. James and the Giant Peach. He did the voice of Earthworm. He was in Dragonheart, 7 Years in Tibet. He was in The Big Lebowski.
He was a nihilist?
Yeah, I think he was one of the nihilists. Yeah. Let's see.
He was on Fargo. He was really good on that.
Yeah. He was in Kingdom of Heaven. He was a Basic Instinct too. Oh my. Warhorse, Fifth Estate, The Zero Theorem. Movie names are dumb. He's going to be in the upcoming Avatar movies if they ever exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. His very first credit was on British TV in 1985. He was in Up the Elephant and Round the Castle.
Oh my God, that's the most British fucking thing I've heard in a while.
Woo.
I just ran across, he was in a short film, it's 10 minutes long, called DIY Hard. Do it yourself hard.
Oh my.
Wherein a single woman and a burglar in her house develop a very unorthodox relationship.
Okay. Connie Nielsen as Hippolyta. She was I think she's probably best known for Gladiator, I think, at this point. Other than this, of course, she's also let's see, she was in Mission to Mars, The Devil's Advocate, 1 Hour Photo, Basic. She was in Rushmore. I forgot about that. Permanent Midnight. That was a good movie. Let's see. She did play this role again in Justice League and Zack Snyder's Justice League. On on TV, she's done. Let's see, she was in The Good Wife for a while. Yeah, Connie Nielsen.
She's Danish. She's done a lot of Danish films.
Yeah. Yes, she did.
That we wouldn't understand.
because we don't, because they're Danish.
You just wouldn't understand.
You wouldn't get it, man.
You're tearing me apart.
I'm Doug, and I'm out of here.
Doug.
Yeah. Elena Anaya as Dr. Poison. Dr. Poison.
Like, I wonder if that person's up to no good.
Right? That's what I said. Dr. Poison. Do you think she's a bad guy? Elena.
That girl is poison.
She's Spanish. She's a Spanish actress. She was in a bunch of Spanish movies. For many, many, many Spanish movies. We did see her in Van Helsing. She was one of the lady vampires. So we talked. Well, I don't know.
I thought she looked familiar.
Other than this, wow, yeah. Other than Van Helsing and Wonder Woman, she's almost entirely in Spanish things. She was in The Skin I Live in 2011. Oh, she also wore a mask in that. Weird. Oh, I heard about this movie. Oh, that movie. It's a Pedro Almodovar movie. That movie is crazy. It's like Antonio Banderas like gives people new skin or something. It's weird and disturbing. It's yeah. Okay, so that movie I forgot that movie existed. So let's see. Lucy Davis as Etta Candy. She's going to be our last one we go into here from our supporting cast. Shaun of the Dead. She was great in Shaun of the Dead. She was in the BBC Office. She was yeah. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. She was one of the aunts in that.
Yeah. She's good.
Yeah, she's good. I like her a lot. She played Abby in Garfield: A Tale of Two Kitties.
That's where
I know her from. Yeah. So, additionally, rounding out our supporting cast, we've got Saeed Tagmoai. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. As Samir, Ewan Bremner as Charlie. I'm not sorry if I said that wrong. Eugene Braverock as the chief. They didn't even. Oh my God! The Wikipedia doesn't even have the name as chief. Jesus Christ! And
the chief.
Yeah, the chief. The character had a name.
Right. You don't understand, you stupid chief. He gets results.
Lisa Loven Kongsley as Menelope or Menelope. Yeah, that's our main cast. So that about rounds it out. Guys, you ready to jump into the movie itself?
Wonder Woman.
Swing.
Here we
Swing.
Yeah.
You said it so matter-of-factly like it's a term.
I'm sorry, I didn't say it correctly. Showing.
And then a thrust.
This is Wonder Woman. We open with a voiceover about, mankind and stuff. And then Diana is in a museum in present-day Paris. She's an antiquities dealer. She gets a picture from Wayne Enterprises. It's her and a bunch of guys. It's an old picture. She gets an email from Bruce Wayne.
Those are just guys I used to party with.
That email is still doing work in other movies.
Yes, it is. That email from iambatman@gmail.com.
Don't look at BruceWayne.ultivist.
So in Dawn of Justice, she receives the photo and it says like, this doesn't just look like you, this is you. And in this, the note says, "I found the original. Maybe you'll tell me the story someday."
Yeah. Yes. We cut to years in the past in Themyscira. Little girl Diana lives in a green screen paradise with a bunch of ladies where they jump and flip and shoot arrows everywhere. It's an island of Wonder Women. They fight, and she likes to fight too. They fight hard and they play hard. It's suggested later on that there's a lot of non-men pleasure being had.
Oh yeah,
on this
naturally.
island. And I mean, that's clearly the subtext all along, but they almost say it.
Yeah,
Sappho.
we're unnecessary, fellas.
Yeah.
Hate to say it. It's Sappho and her friends are fine without us.
Oh, for sure.
Well, that's fine. I don't need her anyway.
Except for procreation.
Yeah. She's a
Not on this magical island.
Yeah.
No.
She's a princess. Her mom tells her she was formed from clay. Then she tells her a story about how in the past Ares became jealous of humanity and orchestrated its destruction. When the other gods tried to stop him, Ares killed all of them except Zeus, who used the last of his power to wound Ares and force him to retreat. Before dying, Zeus left the Amazons a weapon, the God Killer, to prepare them for Ares' return. She shows Diana a special sword, which Diana believes is the God Killer.
I love this. This is one of my favorite aspects of this movie, is that the sword is the God Killer.
Yes.
Until it conveniently isn't.
Yeah, until it's discovered that it isn't, yes.
There is a pretty hilarious use of the sword at one point. We'll get there.
Yeah. So
Is it on the tower? Is it on the tower?
I'll say it now. When she goes to the... Well, wait.
Whoa, okay.
I will mention my theory, which I did mention in our group chat, that this movie is a Disney princess movie. It's structured almost exactly the same as Tangled, Moana, Frozen, the Little Mermaid, the little girl. She wants to leave.
Is that why it's so good?
It might be. It might be why it's an actually interesting story as opposed to so many of these. Yeah, the little girl who lives on the closed, like the closed in like society, and she wants to get out into the wider world. And when she does, she has a series of adventures with her sidekick, and it's not quite what she thought, and she has to come like realize some things about herself along the way.
It was missing some singing, though.
It
Could've
was
used some more singing.
It was.
It was missing some talking animals.
Well, I mean, our animal sidekick was Chris Pine, so
Yeah,
Steve!
he's cute enough.
yeah, for sure. So we get a training montage. Diana grows up. She learns to fight. At first behind her mother's back, then with her reluctant blessing. Though we do learn there's a secret about Diana, where she came from, what she truly is.
Well, she's the only child.
Yes, she's the only
of
kid.
Themyscira.
Yeah. How long does it take her to grow up? I mean, is it normal amount of time, or is this from BC to like, how long is she an adult?
Yeah.
Like, all of this is
I
very...
felt like it was not a normal amount of time because they don't say it right away, but she was created ages ago.
Yeah. So like from the time she was born until the time she's a full adult, is that thousands of years, or is she grow up like a regular child and then is just an adult for thousands of years? I
don't know.
Because
they're all thousands of years old.
Yeah, because time is pretty.
Well, yeah, 'cause she's not half human.
No.
Because the Amazonians aren't necessarily human.
Yeah. No, they're not, and the Amazonians are. Yeah. And time really doesn't have any meaning on Themyscira.
Yeah, I
don't know
that
if we're
it was,
supposed to
it was
think about it too much.
outside of time in a way.
Yeah,
the place itself. It's a magical place.
It is. It's like a little bit like Atlantic City.
It's just like Cabo.
Like sandals.
Or
Tahiti.
Damn, Tahiti. Yes, thank you.
Bali.
a magical place.
like Legoland. So
Universal Studios, where the magic comes to life.
After a training session in which she learns that she's far more powerful than she believed, she watches a plane appear out of nowhere and crash into the ocean. The pilot's drowning.
So is her armor painted on at this point? It almost looks like it.
Interesting, yeah.
It doesn't really, but
Right.
Yeah, I mean it's
just what.
Well, and this is also
Again, this is adult male Alaric Weber seeing Wonder Woman, grown Wonder Woman for the first time. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
Grown. Yep.
Yes. I mean, yes. Gal Gadot is an attractive lady, in case no one noticed. Let's see. She rescues the pilot. We see that on the other side of some sort of invisible barrier, he's being hunted by German soldiers. They pierce the barrier, and a battle between them and the Amazons breaks out. Diana sees death for the first time. The Amazons are able to defeat the Germans, despite the Germans having guns. Diana's mentor sacrifices herself to save Diana.
It was somewhere around this point. I was watching this with Zarina, and she commented, "She's all that and a bag of chips."
She is.
How did those German guys just stumble on this island? I don't know. Where were they headed?
They were following the plane.
Well, no, because
in a boat, though.
Yeah, no. Well,
in a boat.
Yeah, okay. But,
I mean, a World War I era plane's not the fastest thing, but a boat also is still significantly slower.
Right. We'll talk about boats and being on boats and how fast boats are in a few minutes. But
A motherfucking boat.
So
wait.
Did you guys notice?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Al.
When they did, are we into the fog? Are the Germans into the fog by now?
They were
narrative?
just about. Yes. They're past the fog.
Okay. The big boat
I could not see
was like
through the fog.
capsizing.
Yeah.
In the background.
Yeah.
But still shooting shells. But what was going on with that boat tipping over?
I assume something got
magic
cut out of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
That's the only thing that would make sense is the Amazonians took the boat out, but they just cut those shots from the film.
Or some sort of mystic beast.
I thought it was the mystical power of the shield that the small boats were fine.
Oh, you know what? And the plane, when it went through the shield, also crashed. Maybe that's it, like mechanical things.
Yeah, mechanical things failing.
Yeah, makes sense. So, all right. They, let's see. They take Steve and they interrogate him with the lasso of truth.
Did we mention that Antiope took a bullet for Diana?
Sure did mention it. Yep.
Sorry.
They're interrogated by the lasso of Hestia, which is more popularly known as the lasso of truth. And he reveals his name is Steve Trevor. A great war is consuming the outside world. He's an Allied spy. He's stolen a notebook from the Germans' chief chemist, Dr. Isabel Marou, also known as Dr. Poison.
So Poison was not her given name.
No,
she chose that.
She wasn't Emily Poison.
She earned that one.
I wish everyone was just known as what they are. Like, I'm Dr. Teeth. I'm not a Muppet. I'm a dentist.
Dr. Teeth, is that Gary Busey?
Yeah, no.
Yes.
So Dr. Poison was attempting to engineer a deadlier form of mustard gas under the orders of General Ludendorff. He wants his notebook back. And Steve Trevor is going to take his notebook to the British intelligence to help end the war.
Her notebook.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, her notebook. I'm sorry. Yeah, Dr. Poison's notebook. Her diary. He stole her diary. Diana believes the war is being...
Do you think it had a bunch of information about Ludendorff, like his habits? how she felt about him at work, and he was kind of mean sometimes. He had mood swings.
It has pictures. It has pictures she drew of him. This says mean boss.
Do you think she wrote on the front, "Do not read under penalty of poison"?
Poison.
Do not read. Property of Dr. Poison. This means you.
When she was in grade school, she's like, the kids are so mean because my name is Poison. Dear diary.
Are you there, God? It's me, Dr. Poison.
The Diary of a Dr. Poison?
God's like, as a matter of fact, I am here and I need to talk to you.
Sorry, The Diary of a Wimpy Dr. Poison.
So...
No, Diary of a Wimpy Poison.
So, Diana thinks Ares is behind the war. She tries to convince her mom to get involved, but her mom says no. Steve takes a bath. He and Diana,
a magic bath.
A magic, mystical, wonderful bath. He and Diana get to know each other.
That apparently does not produce shrinkage.
Yes, we get this is our second
a shower, not a grower.
Yeah, this is our second movie in a row about that has a penis-sized joke in it.
Yeah.
Well, this is one that I appreciated because this is her first experience with like seeing the human body of another gender.
Yes,
and her just like the whole playing around the idea of them making dick jokes the whole time. Mm-hmm. And he is avoiding that comment. I thought this was fun. This was like
it was cute.
She said, "What is that?" He's like, it's a watch."
Yes.
Yeah. This
diverting.
This did not feel like it was written by a dude.
No, it didn't.
Which made me happy.
It didn't. I thought, the Hollywood feminism can be pretty fucking like I mean the way that feminism is shoehorned. I'm trying to say this in a way that doesn't sound like I'm against feminism and things. The way the way they like in Endgame, for instance, like sometimes it's real clumsy and you can tell it was written by a dude.
Right.
That never felt like this.
Well, this is like they could have easily steered this further into the innocence is sexy trope. Mm-hmm. But it became like innocence is innocence. She has no knowledge of that part of humanity.
Right.
That part being the penis.
That part.
And I have to say, just in general, I really love the fact that like they didn't do the like, oh, you're so dumb because you don't know anything about the modern world. It was like it's like she was innocent and naive, but also like she enjoyed it all and she caught on quickly, and it was very and she really liked people. And God damn it, this woman is so fucking charming this entire movie. I could not I couldn't dislike anything that she did.
Well, and the innocence thing is, I think, captured the like don't mistake kindness for weakness.
Yes.
Kind of thing. Like she's a great example of that as a character.
Absolutely. And Andrea mentioned the tokenism of feminism in film. Yes, thank you, Andrea. That's the verbiage I was searching for.
Yeah, they weren't checking off anything on a list, it felt like.
No, it was simply being, and it's impossible to not address that in some way with it being Wonder Woman, the original female superhero.
Well, and we could probably talk about this for a very long time, but I think part of the success in this is because they set it in World War I and not post World War II, not in the modern era, because it was like a more innocent time kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. Exactly.
I thought World War I worked because Wonder Woman first showed up during World War II.
Yeah.
In comics, yeah.
It worked in this movie being the Great War, with the irony of the war to end all wars.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like World War II was just so much messier to deal with as a movie.
Oh, that's fair. I think like there's no glamour to World War I.
No.
Whereas World War II, you have USO tours, you get dancing girls on
Right.
stage in,
World
behind the front. That kind
World
of
War
thing.
II is Captain America's arena.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so much more covered. Like World War II, there's so much more about World War II. It was our first film war. It was our first war that was documented visually for us as it happened.
Yeah.
And it was cut and dry how it started and what the agendas were.
Right. Yeah, World War I, I mean, were the Germans the bad guys? I mean, kinda, but also it's complicated.
It's
Right.
incredibly complicated.
How it started, mostly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the danger of association almost.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they weren't Nazis.
Yeah.
It's way more complex. So anyways, after his special bath, Diana gets Steve. They attempt to leave the island in secret. She steals the lasso, the sword, and some armor. They are discovered on the beach by
And a
Diana's.
sweet cloak.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
her costume. I love her costumes in this throughout. The non-Wonder Woman costumes, her badass fucking
Yeah.
fur cloak and her cool Edwardian era dress with the hat. She looked great.
that hat, man.
Yeah.
That hat is one of my favorite looks.
She's so yeah, I love it. So let's see. Diana's mom does give her blessing. I loved that this wasn't the if you leave, you can never come back. It's of course you have to go. You're gonna go save the world. Go do it.
Yeah.
But you can't come back.
Yeah. She gives her a tiara, and they leave.
It was anti-peace.
Yeah.
Yep.
It really tied her outfit together. Without it,
Well, and there's a moment when she puts it on in the movie.
Oh.
I think it's before the front scene where
Well-
she turns and puts it on, and you can tell that she is channeling that character. It's really,
And
they
that-
did a lot of character with her costume.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that scene later when it gets there. But the reveal of her in the costume, it was all great.
It's the high point of this movie, man, for sure.
Yeah,
Possibly of the entire DC universe up to this point.
yeah, absolutely. So let's see. They sail to London from Greece. They sail.
Somewhere in the Mediterranean.
I think the idea is it's pretty close to Greece, seen as their Greek characters, Greek gods.
And Trevor was flying from the Ottoman Empire,
Turkey
Syria,
to
Cloud. Yeah,
So, but okay, to sail. I looked this up. To sail from Greece on a modern yacht takes close to a month.
they hitched a ride.
They hitched a ride.
On the wind.
Yeah, no. Yeah, when she wakes up, they're being towed by a power boat. Not a power boat.
But a motorized boat.
A motorized water vehicle.
Okay, I didn't.
motorboat.
I didn't notice they were being towed.
Some aquatic, rodent.
Some sort of. It's some sort of land cow.
in the city limits. I don't think
Some
that's
sort of
legal.
water car.
Some sort. It's some sort of. It's a water whale.
If only we had a word.
So, all right. Meanwhile, back in Germany. Oh yeah, on the boat they bond. They learn stuff about each other.
Meanwhile,
Yeah,
She
back in
forces him to sleep with her.
yeah.
Next to her.
back-
To sleep next to her.
I love that we don't sleep with women. You don't sleep with women?
Yeah. Well,
What's the big deal?
Yeah.
we sleep with women, but we don't sleep. Yeah, yeah, all of that
it can
was
be
cute.
very painful for a man.
Yeah, all of that was really cute, and I think a lot of it has to do because her and Chris Pine have such chemistry together too. On top of everything else. So, all right, back in Germany, Ludendorff visits Dr. Poison and gives her a little pep talk. You're the best Dr. Poison around, Dr. Poison.
Don't sell yourself short.
She gives him some poppers. They make him.
Bondage is
super
strong.
poppers.
Yeah. So the bondage story, she gives the German guy some poppers. They make him strong like ox.
But also very relaxed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Diana and Steve arrive in London. They meet Steve's secretary at a candy. They get Diana some 20th century clothing. They get attacked by German spies in an alley.
She coos over a baby.
She does. She sees
This is the first baby she's ever
She's
seen.
never seen a baby. Yeah. She says, I would like to see the baby. To channel Werner Herzog in the Mandalorian.
Where is the baby?
I would like to see the baby. After watching The Mandalorian, I told Jude who Werner Herzog was and showed him a couple of trailers, and he was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I love it.
Werner Herzog. Yeah. Sorry, I suddenly was
Regional artisans.
So anyways, they get attacked by Germans in an alley, but Diana takes them all out with Steve barely helping. I love how quickly he's like, get behind me. And then he's like, or don't.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to show me?
They deliver Dr. Poison's notebook to the Supreme War Council, which is scandalized by the presence of a woman in the war room.
They'll track bears.
No women, no fighting. In the war room.
In the war room.
No woman, no.
We meet Sir Patrick Morgan. He's trying to negotiate an armistice with Germany. Diana translates Dr. Poison's notes because she speaks multiple languages.
Like Babylonian and
Sumerian.
It was
Sumerian and Babylonian.
It was Ottoman and Sumerian.
Ottoman and Sumerian. Okay. Then it reveals that the Germans plan to release the deadly gas at the Western Front. Steve wants to do a mission to stop her, but he's forbidden by his commander. Diana is furious that they're willing to sacrifice people's lives for the sake of political diplomacy. Steve decides to covertly put together a team of commandos and take Diana to the front to stop Dr. Poison and help her find Ares.
I loved her speech to the generals, and the one line I wrote down is, "Where I come from, generals don't hide in their offices."
Yeah. Yes.
It's a great critique on modern warfare.
Mm-hmm.
They fight and die alongside their soldiers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Pine has a few lines as well that are just very apt. And
absolutely. So we meet Moroccan spy Samir, Scottish marksman Charlie. They're found by Sir Morgan, who gives his blessing and funds their mission. They set off by...
Sorry, I also love the description of Samir by Steve Trevor. It's just, he can talk the skin off a cat.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, and their first conversation where they're parrying with languages, and she hits him. Can you quote?
Hits him with ancient Greece.
In ancient Greek.
Ancient Greek, yeah.
And Steve oh, we're done. We're done already.
Yeah. And Charlie, who is not Simon Pegg, they set off
That's the guy from Trainspotting, right?
Oh, yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Trainspotting dude. Yeah.
I think he was in Snatch too.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's see. They get some nice.
Her comment to him about like a liar, a thief, or what is it? A liar, a murderer, and a smuggler.
Yeah.
And Steve says, "I lied to you about who I am. I've killed people, and I stole a book and was smuggling it. Like, what else do you have to say?" Was really interesting because he's showing the nuance of humanity. Like, we're complicated.
Yeah.
You like me, give these guys a chance. Was kind of a larger statement of her puritanical. That's the wrong word, but like she's a very pure view of good.
Yes.
You know, but it's complicated, especially during war.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this entire movie is about her understanding the nuance of human, and you know,
beauty arises in the muck of humanity.
Yeah. This movie, what I keep comparing it to in my mind, I mean, there's two movies I keep comparing it to in my mind. One, both for obvious reasons. The main one though is the first Thor movie.
Yeah.
About a god pantheon, a god from a pantheon coming and seeing humanity for the first time.
Thor, not so much the first time, but
yeah. But, well, I mean, it was kind of Thor discovering what humanity is. I mean, sure, he went there before.
Because
he
had to live it.
Yeah. Yeah,
because he
exactly.
was forced to be a human.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, Captain America, the first Avenger, just because it's set in an early 20th century war. And there's a group of guys that's the sidekicks, and they're going through the front, and, Anyways, they get some ice cream and then go to Belgium. Brian, you're about to get some ice cream and go to Belgium, aren't you?
Oh, I'm going to eat so much ice cream in Belgium.
Hell yeah.
Not before.
This is I've been eating ice cream this whole time. You guys haven't seen it. This is my favorite moment in this entire movie, I think, is her fascination with humanity's creation of frozen dairy products.
Yes.
You should be so proud.
This man invented it.
You did it.
It is honestly one of humanity's highest points. We figured out how to freeze milk and make it sweet.
I honestly can't think of anything humanity has done that's better than ice cream, honestly.
Pizza's a close second.
Pizza's pretty close.
Beer, pizza,
beer.
ice cream,
Beer.
chocolate,
Yeah, I mean,
few things better.
Chimichangas?
Ooh,
Yeah,
those are
the
pretty,
burrito.
Those are pretty
Street
good.
Fried or
tacos.
unfried. Oh.
I like food is pretty good.
Yeah.
I could watch an ancient god eat humanity's basic products all day. I just want a movie of her and Thor drinking coffee and trying beer and doing these weird things.
If I didn't work at it every day, I would be 5,000 pounds. Food is amazing. So, all right. Meanwhile, in Germany, back in Germany, Ludendorff conducts a coup on the German War Council that was going to end the war, killing them with the help of Dr. Poison.
Ludendorff.
Ludendorff!
On golf. Ludendorff on golf.
He did the whole movie on his knees with fake shoes. Back with our heroes, we meet Native American smuggler Chief Nappy was his name. Nappy.
Smuggler?
He's a smuggler, yeah.
No, I thought you said snuggler.
Oh, so Chief Chief Snuggler. I want to be Chief Snuggler. And the team, they get to know each other. They travel to the front where they discover there's a village right across from no man's land on the German side that's being subjugated by the Germans. Diana makes a decision. She throws off her cloak, puts on her tiara, and crosses no man's land, drawing the enemy fire. The Allied forces follow together, and together they defeat the Germans to liberate the village. So this is the scene we were talking about. That's the kind of the introduction of her in her costume. It's so well done.
Yeah.
And the action's cool. I like the action in it.
I appreciated the fact that they called it No Man's Land. They called it No Man's Land, and Steve says no man can cross that gap. And she did not say, I'm not a man.
Yes, I was I was about to make that exact point. Thank you, Al. Yes, she didn't say, well, I am no man.
She just did it.
Well, we've gotten that line in a number of movies.
We have probably most well-known Return of the King.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, Return of the King, that moment.
Yeah.
Was worth it. And I think that would have diminished this incredibly.
Absolutely.
It would have been hitting us over the head with the tokenism of it would have turned it into that. Yeah.
But as a symbol, fucking beautiful.
As an unsaid symbol, it is beautiful. She looks great. The one thing about the action that is a little Snydery as all of the speed ramping they do. There's a lot of moments where it suddenly goes into slow motion, and I'm like, why right now? There's nothing happening at high speed I need to see slowly.
Honestly,
we need to see those bullets all slow.
I really appreciated the slow motion in this because it lets us savor this moment. Because, like I said, I think this may be the high point of the DCU, like possibly the whole thing.
Yeah,
like this captures to me that like golden era of comics, like more than any moment. Like Captain America freeing people from POW camp.
Mm-hmm.
With like ba 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 da da ba da is one thing. This is a very different thing than that.
Yeah.
And it just like it mythologizes her character more than the mythology does itself.
Absolutely.
Just she's going up against all these machine guns with a shield and bracelets.
Yeah, and more than just the weapons itself, the entrenched nature of human warfare of like the front is here. We can't do this. We can't do that. It would be foolish to. And she's like, why? Why are you mired in this bullshit when I can walk 100 yards that way? It's beautiful to like take the humanity out of that, because we're very much like trying to it's like self-preservation and like this idea of honor at the same time. And yeah, just beautifully done.
Yeah. And like I said, the action in general was great. I love how Steve and the guys bring back the whole shield thing that he saw them use on Themyscira. The
shield jump.
Yeah.
We don't get the guitar theme here, right? We get it when she's fighting indoors. I don't think we get it on the battlefield.
Yeah. Not on the battlefield. It's after she gets past this into the village itself and goes inside, which is all honestly, kind of one big set piece.
I think this shows how overused that is.
It is
awesome. This scene works without it.
Absolutely overused. Well, and also, that's a Hans Zimmer theme, but of course they're going to use it. This music was by Rupert Gregson Williams, though, who, I don't know, he's got a lot of credits, but not anything super exciting to go into. But I do have one question. Did she really have to destroy that church to take out the sniper?
That was an accident.
But still, that's a. It's like that was our last church.
She doesn't know what a church. Yeah.
So, oh wait, you guys worship God in that thing? Wow, that seems boring.
Yeah.
Wait, just one God?
Yeah.
So they have their picture taken. It's the one from the beginning of the movie. Steve contacts Etta, who tells him where Ludendorff is. There will be a gala near the village. We get a gala.
See you there.
I can't believe we get a gala in a World War I superhero movie.
Yep.
They're right next door. Right next door to Ludendorff. That's handy. She thinks Ludendorff is Ares, so they plan on infiltrating the gala to assassinate him. Sir
Patrick forbids them. I'm sorry, you were about to say.
Yeah.
Sir Patrick forbids them to go.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't disrupt the armistice.
But they decide to do it anyway. That night, in the celebration of their victory, Diana and Steve dance, fall in love, and spend the night together.
So Diana learns the difference between swaying and dancing.
The war is officially over, right? The armistice.
No,
not yet.
Because he killed all the Germans that were going to sign the armistice.
That's right.
He did a coup. He did a military coup.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Charlie sings.
Oh yeah, Charlie sings
beautifully.
Yes. The next morning, Steve tells the guys that they don't have to keep going with him, but they all agree they're gonna go all the way with Diana and Steve. They set off through the woods on horseback. They arrive at the castle where the gala is being set up. Steve and Samir sneak in, with Steve disguised as a German officer and Samir as his chauffeur. Diana, not wanting to wait outside, steals a drunk lady's dress and sneaks in.
Is she already
Okay.
drunk? Or is she just belligerent?
The lady? No, she seemed drunk in the dress. Like she was kind of like back and forth on like, what are you? Like
Oh, go ahead, Josh.
Oh, this is the point I was going to bring up much earlier. She just has the sword in the back of this backless dress.
Yes.
How is she moving so freely? And how does Ludendorff not notice it when he's
dancing
with her?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was one of the few little stupids. There weren't many, but
How is she keeping that sword that high up on her back?
Yes. Well,
how's it nobody noticing?
The only way that I could think that she's doing that is a real tight clench.
Oh.
she's
a
afraid she's
demigod.
gonna shart or swart. That's where you fart
Swart.
out a sword.
Oh God.
Willpower.
Yeah, that's how.
Magnets. You swallowed a really strong magnet. And
That could be how they work.
Steve intends to locate the gas and destroy it. Diana hopes to kill Ludendorff. Inside, Steve tries to sweet talk Dr. Poison. While Diana finds Ludendorff, she's got like a Phantom of the Opera mask on.
Yeah.
Like,
So, hey, baby, that mask would look good on my bedroom floor.
I love that he tries to sex her up in a very German way.
Yes, he's like,
I've heard about your successes. Your utility is very great to the Empire. Do you enjoy sexual intercourse?
be like, what about? Yeah, you are very useful. Fire is a great cleanser. Shall we have sex?
Yeah.
It's very spy of him because he's not doing the same flirting that he's been doing with Diana.
No, not.
He just shifts gears to like, the Germans flirt this way.
He's like, "Are you District Attorney Harvey Dent?"
Yeah, Dusseldorf is very nice this time of year.
Lindenhofer or whatever the guy's
Raspedeutsch. Strudel.
Meat iodine.
Nasty Bon Joys.
Sorry to our German listener.
Or one.
That
Yeah.
one guy.
All right. Let's see.
Diana dances.
Yeah,
with,
Diana.
Ludendorff.
Diana. Yeah, Steve's sweet talking the doctor.
They talk about gods.
Diana. Yeah, she finds Ludendorff. They dance.
Which was a very German thing. They
talking
not talking. Well, yes, talking in very long words. But also the Germans latched on to Greek mythology around this era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was part of their whole thing that they were I don't know.
Like they were
born of the ancients.
Yeah, they were heirs to the ancient civilizations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was very apropos.
Yeah.
That he was talking about the gods and telling her, you know nothing of the gods.
And that's kind of why it was the Third Reich, right? Because he claims that there were other points in history where the Germanic or Caucasus. Yeah.
Yes.
Right on.
So, all right. Diana's about to kill Ludendorff because she thinks he's Aries. Steve stops her, telling her they can't kill him until they find the gas. But this allows Ludendorff to unleash the gas on the nearby village out of giant cannons on top of the castle.
We never should have leased that factory to Dr. Poison.
Dr. Poison. What is she a doctor of? What is she? What did she earn her?
She's a doctor of poison.
She earned her.
We can be
That's
more
established.
straightforward.
Biochemistry.
Yeah, if you want to get all, doctory about it.
Diana's reaction to being stopped is so satisfying from like an anti-war
this is a new
perspective.
experience.
Oh, when she tries to pull out her sword and kill him right there?
Well, not just that, but
Oh.
but when they find out about the village, And she's like, I could have stopped this. I could have single-handedly stopped this. And you, to Steve, you stopped me. This movie has some cool anti-war messages built into a movie about World War I. It's easy to do that. But it's so like, yes, you could have done that, but that would have just spun this into a larger conflict.
Or had no effect at all, because he makes the point of saying like it's bigger than one person. You don't just kill one person and the problem is solved. Like man makes war.
Yeah,
and she still thinks of it as I have to kill the singular god figure to stop this.
That'll stop
and he's still not believing that
Ludendorff is even Ares at all.
Ludendorff is even Ares.
Or Ares even exists.
Yeah, more that, or even that she's a god.
Yeah,
or a godlike figure.
I mean, like he clearly knows she's more than just a regular person, but like a god, like come on.
She's like Serena Williams level, but I wouldn't feel like a god.
So all right.
There are arguments to be made for Serena Williams.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Pretty close.
Or Serena Williams, yeah. Is she Beyonce, like, or is she more of like a Rihanna?
Oh no, she's a Beyonce level. Yeah,
the queen bee.
God, she's incredible.
So all right. So the village is destroyed. Diana races back. She blames Steve and vows to find Ares and kill him. The chief followed Ludendorff. He signals to Diana where he is. She rides to the base where Ludendorff is. Luckily, it's a horse ride away. She fights her way.
Game of Thrones geography.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything's just right near this village, which is in the middle of nowhere, which they had to like look up on a map.
Well, I mean, a fortnight is what? Overnight between two forts?
Yes.
Fortnite in the backyard.
Watching this, I kept thinking, like, I've ridden horses before, and I kept thinking how casually people talk to each other on horses in movies, and how uncasual riding a horse always feels.
You're screaming over the sound of the clippity-clop.
Yeah. Well, you're yelling at each other over the sounds. And me personally, I'm always holding on like, please, giant beast, don't decide to turn on me.
I'm not yelling at you, I swear.
Was this the last war that, had war horses? I mean, maybe
there were some in World War
II.
II.
Yeah.
But on the European front, yes.
Just to fucking ride them into battle. That's hardcore.
Yeah. Yeah.
They liked us. They liked us.
The invention of the machine gun definitely slowed that down.
Yeah, it did.
Immediately.
Yes,
because
it
you no
did.
longer had the advantage being high up.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, well, and
combustion engine.
Yeah.
So all right. So she fights her way in through the base into the tower where Ludendorff is observing his handiwork. He takes his poppers and gets into a tussle with the pretty lady.
The choice of this tower was interesting to me. We have a hand-to-hand combat between two powerful figures inside a small room.
Yes.
Yeah.
As the moment of
was it like an air control tower kind of thing?
Yeah. I mean, it seemed like that.
Just like the general's tower kind of thing.
It was at an airport.
That's true.
Yeah, I was at a
base.
Runway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
and there were radios in that room.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, from a filmmaking perspective, they keep it in this room so that later when she has the actual final confrontation, that's actually, is much bigger.
Yeah. It was an interesting choice, and it definitely set up for that larger conflict on the runway itself, I guess.
Yeah. So, so she kills him. She's confused, though, when the Germans don't suddenly start dancing in the streets and war continues all around her.
She didn't even get away from that exact area she's in.
Yeah, she's like,
damn it, they didn't stop the war. It's like, whoa. Give telegrams a minute to get there.
Yeah, it's interesting, her view on how war works as a service to Ares, the god of war.
Yeah,
everyone should lay down their arms. They should get overwhelmed with a magical feeling of what are we doing here?
She thinks it works like the teenage girls that tweet Vladimir Putin to stop invading Ukraine.
Yeah. Well, And she thinks about, where she's from, where, they train and everything, but they train to defend themselves and their island. And so, she would think that, like, oh, well, then the opposing force, you get rid of that, and there's no need to defend your, childlike.
Her first engagement with a German soldier in the alleyway with Steve Trevor, the guy who cyanide pills himself, she says to him, "You're clearly under his spell."
Yeah.
Talking about the god of war. So she thinks that everybody is under the god of war's spell on the Axis side. I forget what they called the
It was
German.
It wasn't Axis. It was I can't remember what World War I was. Yeah. It was Allied and something. I can't remember. Yeah. Exactly.
Allied and disarrayed.
So all right. Let's see. Behind Diane. Okay, so yeah, Steve arrives, tells her that people just fight because people suck, and Diana gets disillusioned by this realization. Steve does go on to tell her that despite their faults, people are still deserving of help. She won't help, though, and the guys take it upon themselves to infiltrate the base and stop the gas. Then behind Diana, Sir Patrick appears, and she realizes that he's actually Ares. He tells...
The reflection thing is interesting.
Yeah.
Because he appears as a mirage, basically, to her, that she can't fight.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And he just magics himself there. I mean, I guess he's the god of war. He can do that, but he doesn't have to travel there. He just appears.
This is where my complaints about this movie really start and end, is with this conflict, because him appearing as an image is so powerful, and it's such a cool idea. Like, you can't stop war by killing one man. I am an idea was such a cool concept, and then for him to land on the tarmac,
he lands and has an actual physical confrontation, and it kind of turns into just a big CGI end of movie like flash fest. I think the ending is one of the ending battle is one of the weakest moments. There's some stuff in the ending here I do like, but yeah.
I mean, visually it's cool.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Was something that was tacked on by the studio, if I remember correctly. Like, they had a different ending. I wish I had looked it up, but they had a different ending in mind, and then the studio said, "No, you have to do this.
You have to have a big CGI flash fest at the end." Yeah. So, anyways, meanwhile, Steve hijacks the bomber that's going to carry the gas.
But I'm sorry, before we continue, I loved that when she sees him in the tower, she reaches back, and the sword's not there because it's still in Ludendorff's chest.
Yeah.
She just left it there. And then cut to the other team, and then cut back. She just jumps down and she has the sword, like, just off, and he's still there and he hasn't moved.
Yeah. Yes.
It's like, yeah, I'll let you go get the sword. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that was cool because it was necessary to reveal that it was not the sword.
Yes.
No,
I liked it. I thought it was a funny beat.
There were a lot of steps in this that made sense. Her looking at the team as they're taking fire and discussing being out of ammunition and continuing to fight was a really cool touch for that.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Ares is trying to persuade her to join him to destroy mankind so they can restore peace and paradise on Earth. He tells her that humans are inherently corrupt. But then she gets blasted, basically, and Steve runs up and tells her something which we can't hear.
Yeah. Well, and she denies Ares' promise of creating a new Earth for the gods, kind of thing. She's like, I can't. What?
Yeah.
No, you're talking to the wrong gal here.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the stuff with her and Steve. I like all the stuff with Steve in the ending. Andrea just said that the sequence ruined the movie for her and took a while before she could appreciate the rest of it. Yeah, I mean, it's just a boring end of movie battle at this point, but I do like the Steve stuff.
It's worse than the sum of its parts. There's something about the way that this was all put together just fell apart instead of coming together at the end.
Yeah.
It had all of the pieces to come together in a really cool, cohesive way, and they just didn't execute it well.
Yeah, and the fact that it's studio meddling just makes it all make sense why it didn't.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
Yep.
So
because I have a feeling that Patty Jenkins probably had a more nuanced ending in mind.
I'm sure, yeah.
Well, and we know decades and decades studios did not think this movie could or should be made. So
yes.
Yeah. I'm sure they were nervous all the way through.
Yeah, people aren't interested in watching a woman superhero. Is what
will the men think of this movie?
We need a big bad god to fight her.
Yeah. Isn't it kind of gay? We should have a big oily dude.
Yeah, a lot of chicks. It's awful gay.
Yeah. So, all right. Steve hijacks the... Steve gives his talk to her and then hijacks the bomber, carrying the poison to a safe altitude and detonates it, blowing himself up in the process, sacrificing himself. Ares attempts to direct Diana's rage at Steve's death by convincing her to kill Dr. Poison. But she remembers the things that Steve said and her experiences with him, and she realizes that humans have good within them. She spares Dr. Poison and redirects Ares Lightning back into himself, killing him for good.
I wish that her vision of Dr. Poison had been Steve trying to pick her up at the gala. Being like, well, Steve thought she was very attractive, obviously, from those things he said at the party.
Yes.
For Steve, I won't hurt you.
She was seeing Dr. Poison behind my back.
Well, and like the visual, like there's so many cool things. She's holding a tank over her head. I'm going to crush you with humanity's killing tool. And then she just tosses it aside. That was cool.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, it just failed to thread the needle.
Yeah, it didn't. There were a lot of parts that were great, and it just didn't come together in this ending. Absolutely. So back in England, the world celebrates the end of the war, although for Diana it's bittersweet due to the death of Steve. We cut back to the present, where Diana is still looking at the photo. She responds to Bruce's email at at Bruce at hotmail. Bruce for hotmails at hotmail.com.
She's like, I'm sorry, I had to go to the spam folder. Batman, come on.
Yeah, Bruce, why is your email at AOL?
Yeah, not Batman.com.
So this whole movie is her remembering these events.
Yes,
as a result of getting an email.
It's a memory play. The entire movie. Yep.
The fact that they bookended it with the email thing, it lets air out of this movie.
I wish it didn't.
Yeah,
absolutely. I wish it did not have the bookends. 100%.
I compare this to Iron Man 3, where we find out at the end that Tony has been recounting the story to Bruce.
Yeah.
As like a quote unquote impromptu therapy session, which added to that movie. This, that same kind of device, it subtracts so much of like, here's her origin. Like, no, her origin is her remembering a thing because Batman emailed her once.
Yeah, exactly. All the connections.
Batman emailed
her. All the connections to the Snyder stuff makes it weaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So we roll credits. There's no after credits sequence, and that's that.
Did we explicitly state that she is the God Killer? It's not the sword.
Yeah,
she is the daughter of Zeus. She was created by Zeus.
Yeah, Zeus, as Zeus did, had sex with her mom. Zeus.
She's got a half brother that's a swan.
She's got half brothers everywhere. She's got a half brother that's like a turtle, and
potatoes.
Every which way but Zeus.
Yeah, Zeus. If it moved, Zeus. If
Clyde
it
was the son of Zeus.
if it moved, Zeus fucked it, and some things that didn't move.
Yeah.
Hey, you know,
Sometimes
I
he'd
feel
switch it up and be a bull.
Yeah. Yeah, Zeus was a randy motherfucker.
And that was his last act. So
yeah,
he used
His last act was to get laid. That is so
Giggity.
on brand.
he used almost all of his energy to defeat Ares. Then he used the final amount of his energy to have sex with.
He's like, I'm gonna lay down. You get on top.
It's
he
like
died doing what he loved.
Connie Nielsen.
Connie Nielsen. What do you love most?
So that is Wonder Woman. We are through the movie. I mean, I liked it. I
liked it better the second time. Yeah.
That's good to hear, because I mean, I really I understand the DC cinematic universe has issues, to say the least, but this movie specifically, I think, is way better than most of what they were putting out at this time.
I watched it twice this week, and it did not feel as long as it was both times.
Mm-hmm. I think I don't think that it's a mistake, but I think that it's a happy accident that the two strongest DC characters are Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn. The two women in the DCEU are the strongest
cinematic
characters.
Yeah, they're the two that
they're movies, whatever, but they're characters, man. They are complex. They have depth. They're funny. They're interesting. They're fun to watch.
Absolutely.
Has everyone watched the Harley Quinn cartoon?
Cartoon?
By now?
I have.
At your suggestion, yes.
Both
I
seasons.
don't think I've seen all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the Harley Quinn.
So good.
Her and Poison Ivy's relationship I love so much.
Yep.
Always did, yeah. That was a Bruce Timm thing.
Yeah.
I really hope that the DC, whatever remains of this universe, leans further in on these two characters, because they are the heart and soul of this whole thing. Because Cavill is fine. Whoever is Batman is fine. Aquaman is fine.
Whoever is this week.
Flash is fine. Gal Gadot.
Gadot.
Gal Gadot. And
Gal Gadot.
Margot Robbie.
And Mersey Dotes
are phenomenal.
They
are not
really
just
are.
okay. They exceeded the expectations.
Oh my god!
I think I think both of them took these roles and made them their own in ways like Robert Downey Jr. did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got in the skin. They own the character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it'll be hard to recast them at any point.
Absolutely. So I don't know, guys. You ready to go ahead and just rank this thing?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Let's bring up Der List. I'm on the wrong part of Der List. Let's see here. So,
Der List. The Kaiser is not satisfied.
Der Listen. So I'm going down, and the first movie I can say is that I personally can say that I think is unequivocally worse than this in our list is Age of Ultron. Anything above that, I can make an argument for being better than this, but that's the first one that I can say unequivocally. I think this is a better movie than Age of Ultron.
I think that's fair. It's hard to say, because I compare this to the first Avenger in a lot of ways, but I don't think that it's better than Days of Future Past or Spider-Man or even the first Avenger to some extent. I like the Age of Ultron ranking.
So that's...
Yeah, fine.
that's you know, I know that there's some... So that there's always some... differing opinions on all the rankings because it's a group ranking and we all have our own personal head rankings, which are very different.
Yeah. Right.
But
I'm still wanting Swamp Thing a little bit higher up. What can I say?
Yeah, same.
Al, what are you thinking in this?
Yeah, Days of Future Past is a hard one to push past on this one. Maybe above Ant-Man.
That's rough for me. I don't know if I like it better than Ant-Man or not.
Ant-Man was so fun.
Ant-Man didn't really tell us anything about anything besides a heist.
That's true.
We got to know Scott Lang. This really examines human nature and the effects of war. And Wonder Woman's a great vessel to do that, so I could make an argument for it being higher than Ant-Man. It's loftier in its goals.
I mean, I wouldn't fight it if that's the consensus. I think I probably know. I mean, I feel like Josh, you're in essence abstaining because I feel like your take on the film is probably much is you would probably personally put it a lot lower than any of the other three of us would.
Yeah, I mean that's fair to say.
Yeah, so Andrea would say number 18 under Ultron. And Andrea is what you would put it at.
I think so.
Yeah. That, I mean, I get that.
Anywhere in there is fine. You put it between Ant-Man and Age of Ultron. I don't think it's better than Days of Future Past. But
yeah, I think Days of Future Past is a pretty hard.
Yeah, they pulled that one off.
Yeah,
you know, they haven't pulled off every X-Men storyline, but they did that.
All right,
I'll second number 18. I like that. That's a happy.
Below Ultron.
Below Ultron.
Al.
Let's do it.
All right, Andrea gets her way.
Hey, you know.
So we are putting it in at number 18. Wonder Woman with an O, not a P.
It may rise up. Our rankings are a roller coaster.
They
I love it.
They are. And they don't. They often make no sense, and especially as we go on, and the rankings evolve and things get stuck in. We're like, how is this better than that?
Yeah, ranking something's so subjective.
Oh, God, yeah.
I use the example a lot. It's like pizza toppings.
Yeah.
It's like, I'd like it to go above peppers. Fuck that. I want it below peppers. All right.
So that is it, which brings us to next week. And next week on Harmless Phosphorescence, we are going to be watching Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh, yay. I just watched the trilogy like 4 times this weekend.
Oh, wow.
I just love it.
Weird. The trilogy.
Yeah, the Spider-Man finally got its trilogy.
Yep.
So that is next week on Harmless Phosphorescence. Until then, thank you everybody for hanging out with us. This has been your host, Throw Smiley. And in the name of all that is good in this world, I hereby complete the podcast of the Amazons.
I'm Josh Cece, and is that a sword in your dress, or are you just uncomfortable to see me?
Thanks to the heroic acts of Wonder Woman, there will never be another world war. Right, guys?
Right.
Yep. I'm Brian Lesh.
I'm Alaric Weber, and I've read all 12 of Cleo's treatises on bodily pleasure. All 12.
Somebody had to do it.
That sounds like a threat, Al. All right.
Threaten me with a good time.
We'll see.
Exactly.
We'll see you next time, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.